Well, it was started by an Irish missionary who was in India, and he came across a group of persons affected by leprosy. Well, he said these famous words, which we quite often quote within TLM. If ever there was a Christ-like work in the world, it was to go among the least of these and bring them the consolation of the gospel. And what he meant by the consolation wasn't just telling them about Jesus, it was also about showing them compassion, showing them care.
As a Christian and an idealistic teenager, I heard about the Leprosy Mission's work. What I heard from the film that was presented to our church youth group was that out of about 15 million people suffering from leprosy in the world, only 1 in 5 were receiving any kind of treatment, even though there was an effective treatment available. And being left untreated, most of them would develop disability. And I thought this was really unfair.
I think as workers in an organization like Leprosy Mission, there is, to us, leprosy is just a disease, but to the person who actually gets it, it's a horrible, frightening condition because of the deformity associated with it.
Along with that also, there is a sense of mental health problems, lots of hopelessness, anxiety, doubts, anger, lack of confidence and self-esteem.
One thing is it's very slow growing bacteria, which means there's a very long incubation period between the time the person's first infected and the time when they develop the symptoms. It's maybe in years rather than days or weeks. So this means that you very rarely can identify where or when the person was infected. That makes it a little bit more difficult to control the spread of infection in the community. Even though the number of cases is still high, the prospects, the prognosis for individual cases in most countries of the world is better.
Every 2 minutes, a new case of leprosy is being diagnosed somewhere in the world. So it's important that people are aware that this disease still exists and that we need funding in order to defeat it.
Leprosy Mission and the work of leprosy is forging ahead at a great speed. And we have a lot of new innovations and newer treatments coming on, interventions that are focused on interrupting transmission. So it is my hope that very soon we would be able to have reach towards zero transmission. Very soon we would have no children with leprosy affected.
For example, there's work going on to develop PCR tests that help to really accurately diagnose the disease. There's also work going on in serology to see if there are certain antibodies, proteins that we can detect early to help us know this is leprosy. So for me, once we have those tools that can help us, one, have early confidence that this is leprosy, to know it is leprosy. Two, quality, to be sure that we're not making an error. With PEP, we are much more proactive. We are looking at people at risk of the disease and protecting them from getting the disease. And it's really exciting that we can go out there and use these two tools to advance our cause.
If the Leprosy Mission was not there in many places, the quality of care for leprosy would be very much impaired. And one of the things that we tried to do in the Leprosy Mission was to give them hope, because very often people who have to live with disability and poverty and perhaps are separated from their family and friends, they can easily fall into despair.
Leprosy Mission has understood this, that just giving physical treatment is not enough. We need to give a holistic care. We need to give person-centered care.
If you're diagnosed with leprosy today, you have a much better chance of receiving good treatment, resulting in less suffering, less disability, less transmission of the infection to your loved ones round about. You're likely to have less social dislocation and less deprivation of human rights than you would have done 50 years ago. So things have improved enormously.
Honestly, it's exciting. One of my dreams is what I say to people, that I want to be part of that generation that actually defeats leprosy. So I'm excited, I'm hopeful, and I trust that it will come to reality.
We believe in the future without leprosy. There are very, very good treatments that are available and new treatments which are being researched and will be available in the years to come. And we believe that with some of these new treatments and the commitment of not only individuals but governments, that this, and organisations like ours as well, that this disease can be defeated.